Welcome back. We are in Khan Academy on Algebra 1 and in the unit Quadratic Functions and Equations. This skill is called Features of Quadratic Functions Strategy. Strategy is a good thing to have practice with. It's something that you should do whether you're told to or not. Look at a problem and think about how could I solve this, not just what's one way I could solve this, but think what various ways could I solve this and which one would be the most effective for me in terms of efficiency, because if you select a method that works efficiently, you'll have done less work in the end than if you pick possibly the first thing that comes to your mind. If it's not a very efficient method, it might get you the right answer, but it might take you twice as long or 3 times as long. So that's the purpose behind thinking about strategy, is to actually save yourself time in the end. So the function f is given in 3 equivalent forms. So they've just told us that they're going to give us the same function, but they're going to express it in 3 different ways. So these are equivalent. We've been given that information. Which form most quickly reveals the vertex? What should pop into your mind is the vertex form of an equation. That is the form of the equation that has the vertex coordinates built right into it. So here are these 3 forms. This is factored form. We have a factor -3, the factor x plus 1, the factor x minus 5. That's not vertex form. This section B is the vertex form. It's got some constant times a binomial squared plus another constant. That's vertex form. In vertex form, you have, in general, it would be f of x equals a times x minus h squared plus k. And we know from the vertex form that the vertex is located at h, k. So, in this case, the vertex is at 2, 27. It's the opposite sign of this sign and that same number. So the negative 2 is positive 2. And then it's whatever the constant is out here for your y value, 27. All right? So that's our answer to this one. Just before we go, this last one is in standard form. It's ax squared plus bx plus c. So we've just listed the terms with the exponents descending, starting with the greatest exponent, 2, then 1, then 0. Each of those forms has an advantage. Obviously, the one that's called vertex form is made so you can pull the vertex right out of it. They want to know what the vertex is, lastly, and we just said it's 227. Next question. The function m is given in 3 equivalent forms. Which form most quickly reveals the y-intercept? Alright, well the y-intercept isn't revealed most quickly by the vertex form. Vertex form is a. You can see that you've got a constant times a binomial squared plus a constant. That's vertex form. Here's standard form. Now, what do we know about a y-intercept? They give it to us here. Y-intercept means you're on the y-axis, which means x equals 0. If you put 0, if you substitute 0 for x, this is still not super easy to calculate. It's not obvious. This one, you'd have to do 4 times 2 times -4, which isn't hard, but look at what happens with the standard form. If x is 0, 0 minus 0 minus 32. That's very simple. You know right away it's -32. So we'll put in -32 and we'll pick the standard form of the equation. Easy to get the y-intercept from the standard form. Next question, the function f is given in 3 equivalent forms. Which form most quickly reveals zeros, or roots of the function, that is, places where the function crosses the x-axis. So, where the function crosses the x-axis, that means it's points on the x-axis, that means that the y-coordinate is 0, right? So, which of these is easiest to solve for f of x equals 0? This is vertex form. It has the vertex, but it's not super easy to tell where the function crosses the x-axis from that. This is standard form. It's easy to find the y-intercept, but it's not easy to find the x-intercepts. But this form, factored form, we can figure out what would make this equal 0 because it's a product. Something times something times something has to equal 0. Well, that's easy. You just have to make one of the factors equal 0. In this case, x could be -1 to make this factor 0, or x could equal 5 to make that factor 0. And we only have to pick one of those, so we'll say 5 minus 5 is 0. 0 times anything is 0. Next question. The function g is given in 3 equivalent forms. Which most quickly reveals the vertex? Now it's your turn.